Yo, what's good, Alpha Squad? It's Harlem doing a quick video on the trade recap for SPY that we took this morning. It is Friday, May 20, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The market is still open, but I wanted to take a few minutes to go ahead and review the trade that we took. The first thing that you want to do is you want to mark the high and the low of the previous day. So if you're looking at my chart when I posted on the Red Alpha channels, the white lines are my triggers, my entry points. The yellow lines are my targets. Orange lines are the previous week's high and low. And the pink lines are the previous month's high and low. Now, the reason we do that is to understand and visually see where we at compared to last week, compared to last month, compared to yesterday. So we definitely want to know where we at because there is a bigger picture going on. Again, the first thing you want to do is mark the previous day's high and low. We are currently looking at the daily chart. Therefore, each candle represents one day. Okay, again, we're going to mark the high and the low of yesterday. The high of yesterday was 394.14. The low was 387.11. Now, the goal here is to look for calls above yesterday's high and look for puts below yesterday's low. Okay, so this is the current setup for the play coming into today. This 3 candle that you currently see was not there at 9:20 a.m. Okay, it was not there. That was the candle that we are going to play. So my setups are always on the daily time frame, but once we begin the day, I dive into the smaller time frames, the 15, the 30, and the 60s. So let's go ahead and switch to the 15-minute chart. Again, depending on what time frame you're looking at, each candle represents that time. So if I'm looking at the 15-minute now, each candle represents 15 minutes of price action. Okay, so this morning started as a 2-up, like right here in the middle of the screen. That's the first candle of today. The rest of the candle before are yesterday. So this is what we're looking at. So as you know, I marked the high and the low of the previous day. The high again was 394.14. My thoughts going into this was, if we break the high, I am going for calls. If we break the low, I am going for puts, right? However, there's certain times where you can find earlier entries to really capitalize on the bigger move. If I would have waited for puts to trigger at the date of yesterday's low at 387.11, I would have missed about $5 of price action. And that's what we don't want. We want to capitalize on these big moves, especially if you find the strat combos that can give you an early signal to take that trade. So on the 15 minutes, we have a 2 candle and a 1 candle. A 1 is the inside, and again, as I expressed to the beginners, the main candle you want to be looking for is the 1, the inside candles. The inside candles are your best friends when you are trading. They are your alerts. They let you know to be ready for a move. Okay, so again, the first 15 minutes was a 2-up. Second 15 minutes was a inside candle. Now once we get this setup, this is a setup where you can find an earlier entry compared to the daily trigger, right? So I told myself, if we break below this inside 15, I'm going to jump in for puts to the downside, okay? Or if we went up and crossed the high, I'm going for calls. However, you see we did not get those. We did not get a break above. We got the break below. So I'm going to take this trigger of the daily to the upside, and I'm going to move it as my 15-minute entry to the downside. We get the new 15 minutes. It's a 2 down. Once this candle breaks through that white line, that's your alert, that's your entry, that's your trigger to get into your play. So anything under 392.14, that's when you got in. That's when I called out 388 puts for today. Now, when you get in early on a trade, your daily trigger now becomes your target because you're already in. So this white line that was my daily trigger has now become my target. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip that to yellow. Okay, So once we triggered in, you got to find your targets. What are we aiming for, right? The first one, of course, we had was the daily trigger, but there's targets before that daily trigger. So again, get your lines and mark them lows. When you're going down, your targets are previous lows. So what's the next low after these two? Is this one right here under the 3. So that's a target. Find your next low. What's the next low? Boom. You see how this the new yellow line is below the other one? That's a lower low. So then you go look for the next lower low. Boom. Here's my next target. Now I have 4 yellow lines, 4 targets to have a level where I can take profits and see what happens once we hit those targets. Okay, so here we are on the way down. We hit 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th target, as you remember, was our daily trigger. So traders and investors trading off that daily are entering the play that we got at that time, and we got it $5 earlier, right? So after that, the next thing was to trigger the outside week. In order for us to become an outside week, we needed to hit that 385.15 to make that candle an outside week, because we broke last week's high. An outside week, you have to break both high and low of the previous candle. So since we broke the previous week's high, the next thing we need to do is break the previous week's low to become a outside candle. Okay, and that's exactly what happens. It was a domino effect type play where if we trigger this, then this could happen, then this could happen. This is exactly how it played out. If we break the inside down on the 15, then we can shoot for the daily trigger to go down. If we break the daily trigger to go down, then we can go look for the outside week. And you can see it played out very nicely. Again, this is a 2, 1, 2 bearish reversal pattern. If you look at the strat combo cheat that I put up, it's in the pinned messages in the Red Alpha channels. You will see what I mean. This is a 2, 1, 2 bearish reversal. That was your setup. That was the play. If you have any question, feel free to tag me on the Red Alpha channels. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, and let's keep ourselves prepared for the next opportunity. The market will always be open. There will always be opportunities. Today happened to be a great trade this morning, all out before 12. It was about an hour and 20-minute trade. If you took out at 300%, of course, it decided to keep going down and it hit over 700%. But the goal here is not to get rich overnight. The goal here is to lock in profits and see how these small gains compound over a long period of time. Okay, again, any questions, please let me know. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm out. Peace.